on Sunday night at the Benito Villamarin, El Gran Derby. Real Betis against Sevilla. A very special fixture. A game that is about so much more than just 3 points. Before kick-off, there were awards. One for Isco and one for Manuel Pellegrini, LaLiga's Player of the Month and Manager of the Month. And Betis, who came into this derby having won their last 5 matches in La Liga, had the first chance of the game. It was Cucho Hernandez from distance, who couldn't quite hit the target. The hosts were without Abde and Roca through injury. Sevilla didn't have Agume and So through suspension. Also no Nianzou. It was a first Seville derby for 19-year-old Jesus Rodriguez, and he once again performed very impressively. A really bright run in from the left flank before firing wide. Betis had most of possession, but with their direct transitions, Sevilla were asking some questions. This was an early chance for Isaac Romero, eventually thwarted by a good block from Diego Llorente. Isco then sent a free kick off target. Betis hadn't beaten Sevilla in the league in more than 6 years. No win in the last 12 league derbies. And it was Sevilla who scored the first goal. Loic Bade with a long pass up to Luque Bacchio, who teed up Ruben Vargas. Terrific finish. And on 16 minutes, it was Betis 0, Sevilla 1. Great celebrations for those in red. Direct football. One long pass upfield. Luque Bacchio waited for support. And it was the Swiss international Vargas who lashed home to make it 1-0. This his second goal in La Liga. Manuel Pellegrini had called for cool heads. He said his players would need to manage their emotions, and they did that really well. They conjured a terrific equaliser, teed up by Sabali and finished by Johnny Cardoso. 24 minutes played, and it was 1-1. Cardoso arriving and equalising in a high-profile fixture. He'd scored at home to Real Madrid earlier on this season, and now with his second goal of the league season, he'd equalised in El Gran Derby. Sevilla tried to re-establish their lead, and it was Vargas who crossed for Isaac Romero. Sevilla's number 7 had 3 chances in the first half. This the second of them, which was well blocked, this time by Marc Bartra, who was making his 200th appearance in La Liga. Luque Bacchio then crossed, and eventually it was Isaac on the spin. Another block by Bartra. Luque Bacchio involved, Vargas with the flick, and after Juanlu headed down, Isaac couldn't get the shot beyond Bartra. There was a really good goal just before half-time. Isco teeing up Cucho Hernandez for what proved to be the winning goal. Amazing scenes of celebration. This finish from Cucho in stoppage time at the end of the first half. A brilliant assist from Isco. The initial pass from Jesus. Isco needed just one touch to tee up Cucho Hernandez, and the Colombian forward grabbed his second goal since arriving in January. He's now scored the winning goal in back-to-back games after his winner in the 3-2 comeback win at Leganés. There were no further goals in this match. In truth, Sevilla didn't threaten much after half-time. It was Betis who were closest to scoring next. Jesus Rodriguez flashing wide from outside the box. And so Manuel Pellegrini was able to celebrate 3 points for Betis against Sevilla for the first time. The most recent league victory for Betis against Sevilla had come in September 2018. And although the hosts couldn't score a third goal, they would earn all 3 points. Anthony very nearly made it 3-1 with this delicate volley. Really well directed. But the Norwegian international goalkeeper, Ørjan Nyland, tipped it wide. Nemanja Gudel hit the target with a free kick on the hour mark. It was a pretty comfortable save for Adrian, and a relatively comfortable second half for Betis in general. Sevilla couldn't come up with the right kind of threat. They couldn't pick open the Betis defence, and so Pellegrini's side were able to register a 6th straight win in LaLiga EA Sports. This was Fornals trying to spin. The ball ran away from him. Isco was the MVP. Another sparkling display from him. Great contribution from Cardoso, who nearly scored a second goal. Positive run from the American, driving to the edge of the box and firing just wide. For Sevilla, Carmona and Isak came off, replaced by Saul and Adams. And for Betis, Jesus Rodriguez made way for Ruibal. Isco came off with 20 minutes remaining, replaced by Lo Celso. Lo Celso just coming back from injury, and he did very well in the last 20 minutes of this match, helping Betis to maintain control of this derby. There was one moment of concern when Adrian tried to lift the pass through 2 players in red. He was very fortunate that the ricochet favoured him. Could have been a highly embarrassing moment for the Betis goalkeeper. He was able to recover. Garcia Pimienta sent on Peque. And Ejuke, withdrawing Vargas and Gudel. His final change saw Idumbo come on for Lokonga. He threw on a number of attacking players, but It didn't change anything for Sevilla. They couldn't find an equaliser. It was a brilliant night for Cucho Hernandez. One he will always remember. He came off with just 3 minutes to play, replaced by Bakambu. At the same time, Fornals came off for Altimira. And after this result, Betis with 6 straight wins, with just 1 loss in the last 9. It was disappointment for Sevilla, who have now won only 2 of their last 9. 10 points gained from 9 matches now for Sevilla. There was a yellow card late on for Garcia Pimienta, as the match ended in such frustration for him. There was also a late yellow card for Saul, as Betis were heading towards all 3 points in El Gran Derby, their first league win over Sevilla under Pellegrini. It finished at the Villamarín. Real Betis 2, Sevilla 1.